There we are. Look at that. I pushed a button and it worked. Just waiting on Pamelita. Let's see. What up, CJ? Rosemary Ryan. I don't think I can say your name and not say it like that. Hi, beautiful.
Hi.
You got fancy in that.
You know what? It basically was a snow day, I don't know what I know. Yeah, I put on eyeliner and earrings, so that's something.
Yeah, I mean, I also put on eyeliner. You know what I did is I figured since nobody else is here, I kind of wanted to be feeling myself tonight. So I
Look
put
good,
on
girl.
my feeling myself perfume.
Ooh, I did too. I was like, nobody but me will know that this is here, but I like it.
Yeah, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel happy.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're watching television and we're really into Schitt's Creek right now. We were watching it the other night and I was just like, I bet Alexis smells really good. I bet David smells really good. Doesn't matter.
What is your signature scent? I've known you all these years. I have no idea.
I know. It's Airy from American Eagle. They don't make it anymore.
Wow, dude.
So I've been like milking this bottle for years. Like
That's so cute.
But then I learned, because internet, I learned that you can like get custom scents made. That's why celebrities have perfumes, because you can't patent a scent.
That's so interesting. I guess, yeah, that's true. Because, like, who's to say what it's made out of, really? It's the formula you can patent.
Yeah.
But if you can get close.
Yeah, so apparently you can't patent a cologne. So one of these days I'm going to drop the whatever it was, $500 or $1,000, and I'll be like, yo, make me this. And then I'll sell it. The Sarah smell. Thank you, Rosie. That's a great name.
The Sarah smell. In fact, if ever we're back to live performance, I would say that you should have your own merch section of just smell.
Just smell.
Baby money, the down payments, featuring the scents of Sarah.
The smells. I think that Tanya would probably say that maybe the smell of Sarah isn't something we should sell, but it depends on what we had for dinner, you know.
Wow, I now cut up. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm just saying. This is called Hello, I Am Human. So, I mean, look. And also, I'm a mom. Like, poops.
Yeah, no, there's
so much of it.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in your life.
It's a lot of very human things.
Yes.
So speaking of human things, so I figure I should officially welcome everyone and you, my sweet best friend.
You freaking did it, dude! Here we are.
I did it just out of nowhere, so here we are. The first episode 1 of Hello, I Am Human. So
it's like super famous, and college students are like, oh, what was cool 20 years ago? Like in 20 years, obviously, we're flashing forward. They're going to look at this up and they're going to find it and be like, wow, this long running podcast has always entertained me. I'm so obsessed with this amazing host. Wow, I wonder what she was like 20 years ago. And then they're going to scroll all the way back and they're going to go straight to episode 1. And I get to be on that.
Yeah, of course. Like, who else?
I can probably stop now. I can probably just put it all away.
Good.
I made it.
I made it. It was so funny. We were talking the other day about how it was like, oh, I think I'm just going to do it. Oh, yep. I like look back at all the how you podcast things that I like got super into for a little while and then got way too in my head about. And I was like, oh, I'm not doing any of that. Oh, I should probably like sign up for a podcast hosting service. And I'm like, this makes my brain hurt. I don't do smart things very often now. It's quarantine.
Yeah, man. I will acknowledge that I live in the Blues Brothers Men's Hotel, so the train will occasionally shake the screen. um, I don't know. I feel like this is the right time to do anything, however you want, because there are, the rules. What rules? You know? So podcast 1 year ago made sense one way.
Yeah.
Why not try a new way today?
Yeah, I mean, and everybody's just like doing Zoom calls. I mean, I feel like this is like how we interact.
Exactly.
Humans so much right now, and it's kind of fun. And like with long distance relationships, being friends with people that are long distances away, I meant.
Yeah.
This is great. I don't know why we weren't using these future machines that we have here, this little thing here. Why weren't we doing this? Like, I remember watching Total Recall when I was a kid, that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Yeah.
They had video phones, and that was like so futuristic. And I've been walking around with one in my pocket for years and didn't use it.
I know. I think about it especially with FaceTime because, like, I'm so far away from my family. It's all in Colorado, and I don't know. It's like, it's just weird to think that, like, I could have been, like, my grandma is learning how to use FaceTime. How cool. And only inspired by the fact that she's bored as hell because the bridge club is closed. You know what I mean? Like, she can't go play bridge with her friends and complain about the crappy cookie assortment for the day, So instead, she's, like, learned how to use technology in a way that, like, she never has before. And that's kind of cool. And, like, we have connected via FaceTime. We'd never had done this before.
No.
Talked. But we'd also seen each other in person so frequently it didn't make sense. Like we would talk on the phone actually quite a bit, which is interesting. So anyway, I agree with you, Rosemary, by the way. Bridge Club, my grandma is like the queen of Bridge Club. She like knows where to get all the snacks, the cheapest, the good snacks. Okay.
Good snacks.
She knows, and also she's like a master player. She used to like travel all over the country like in her 60s in her first part of her retirement, like adjudicating games and stuff like that. I mean, it was amazing. She traveled like, I think one year she traveled like 100,000 miles by herself in a car.
So you mean your grandma tours doing bridge more than we tour play music?
Yeah, dude. She's been to 7 continents, my grandmother. And like all of that travel post-retirement, she like divorced my grandpa. Like they, whatever. My grandpa was a great guy. My grandma they actually left pretty amicably. It was like the end of their era. And she like just started playing bridge and traveling, and then she would go with her bridge buddies like to different ports. Like she went on this month-long adventure of the Mediterranean. She went to freaking Antarctica. Like they would fly to Buenos Aires, like get on some weird adventure cruise as like bridge friends, and then they would just like play cards like up and down the coast of South America. And the weirdest part is like I had no idea she was doing this because she lives like a church mouse, you know what I mean? Like she doesn't spend any money, she doesn't go anywhere, she doesn't do anything except play bridge. So I was just like, oh, my poor grandma, I hope she is enjoying that. Like I hope she's having fun, And then I'm like 24 and I was like, wait, you're in Argentina, like drinking sangria by the pitcher? Excuse me? Like, thanks for inviting me.
Talking about life goals.
I know.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So jet setting's in your blood a little, huh? And touring.
Jet setting? Oh my gosh. Restless, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway. You're so
yeah, a little bit. I mean, this was my 10-year anniversary of winters in Chicago this year. And so we got boatloads of snow, just like we did my first winter. So that was really great.
I feel like the pants guy is for you.
God.
Have you heard about this?
No, what's the pants?
Oh my God. There's a guy who won dibs. This concept of dibs and people like shovel out their car. He froze pants. And I'm pretty sure that was for you specifically.
I was dying for frozen pants the other night. I didn't know what you were talking about, but frozen pants dibs.
In honor of Sarah Natchreed. That is what that was for.
Yeah, like that's what I was. So one of the I figured one of the opening questions we should have, because I was thinking about like these are the strange things that I'm doing like right before we like go live and it's like
Yeah.
the big podcast and all that. And I changed the litter box
Nice. Cool.
because
Cool. Cool.
Thursday and it's trash day. And so I shuffled out in the snow to go pull the trash cans up front. So, what, Pamela, were you doing just before we got on?
Pamela, was doing some samples of a faux finish for a fancy person's powder room that I had to drop off earlier today, and I was getting home.
That's
I, so yeah, because I do painting and stuff, and I've been doing some work, trying to get some work as I'm furloughed, doing faux finishes and like wallpaper and stuff like that. So this one lady wants her powder room to have like a glamorous golden finish that is both glamorous and moody, and it has to disguise a secret door.
nice.
I don't even know. So she's super cool actually, like a really cool eccentric like person who has money is like trying to hire artists to do anything, which is very kind. So yeah, so I dropped off some samples for her. That's like, trying to do my day gig.
I
And
like.
then I've been, as you know, getting ready for the album release. So I was ironing some t-shirts to set the ink. And then here I am.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just ironing some ink in the evening, just a nice, relaxing Thursday night.
I gotta get ready. I gotta go get that. Looks so crappy for Sarah.
Oh, did you do the pink and blue one?
I do. Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah. Let's see it.
Hold on. Wait, I have a really goofy gag that I'm gonna do throughout this throughout this night, where I
Wait,
have every merch I've ever made in reaching distance of me, so that I can be goofy and show you weird crafts.
I love it. I love it. Go to cute team.
I was gonna wear it, but then I'm like trying to sell it. I thought that might be weird. So
Yeah, it's okay. Well,
anyway, if you want to buy it, it'll be online soon.
if you wear it, we can put it on my side of the merch table, and we can have a section that's Pamela smell.
Oh, Pamela smell. That is what my signature scent is from Lalia. I don't know if anybody is in, but I started wearing that perfume when I was like 18-year-old. A girlfriend of mine had worked at a perfume shop in Berkeley, California, and like,
Ooh.
we met like at our college job, and she was like so cool. And she was like, she's older by a couple years, and she was like, oh, I have these extra perfumes. Do you want some? And I was like, I guess, whatever. Perfumes, so dumb. Give it to me, please. And anyway, that is what that t-shirt would smell like if I were to wear it.
So I think that one of my favorite scenes in the upcoming holiday magic music for your ears, when we were filming the Love is a Meditation,
Oh my gosh.
and you cut this scene where you're in sprinkles, which I'm
Yeah.
working more about sprinkles, and you're just holding up Go Cute Team, and there's the cement mixer in the background. That shot makes me so happy every single time I see it.
Can I tell you, everyone I have shown the like long form to has commented on that shot specifically. Like every single person. Like, how did you get the cement guy in the video?
Well,
For
no,
yeah, for our like three friends who were hanging out with us, like Sarah met me in the middle of quarantine and filmed me inside of this like goofy gigantic thing that I made, and like was like Martin Scorsese the whole situation. She was like, go, go, go. Like she would see a truck going. She was like, this is the perfect shot. Like this is your chance. And I was blind and couldn't
running
see.
into traffic.
I was like, okay, I trust you. Like I love you this much that I trust you with my life. So that shot with the cement mixer just like spinning behind me in that goofy ornate costume was just like such a perfect symbolism of like the trust we share, but also just like the times, like how insane this contrast between real life. Like people are still going to work and pouring cement. Like that's really
Yeah.
happening still. And then me just like goofing off in a gigantic candy heart. That's a totally different thing that's happening right now.
That's what some unemployed people are doing right now. There's the others that are still employed, you know. I mean, my wife is still going to work every day. She's a nurse, so I mean, she's kind of the danger zone at our house.
He's a badass, man. It's
Oh, you know.
awesome. Yeah, it's
So is
awesome.
that cement mixer.
That cement mixer guy is also doing that heavy
You,
lifting, man. That he's keeping our streets safe, full of cement.
so tell me, like, as much as we talk and as much as I've known about the whole holiday magic process from the beginning, where did it really come from with being holiday magic?
Oh man. Okay. So yeah, we do. So yeah, we talk a lot about everything. So it's interesting because like our conversation is so fluid that I don't think I have ever like presented it to you as like,
Yeah.
boom. I don't actually, to be completely fair, until writing a press release after all of it was done, I had never stopped to really think about what was happening or like put it into words or really even like crystallize the idea in any kind of like tangible way.
Hmm.
So I don't know, even like preparing for tonight, like thinking about what we would talk about, what you would maybe ask, I was like, oh geez, it's interesting that I've never like revealed the full story to you or laid it out in like a chronological way because it happened as it was going, right?
Right.
But the like basic premise was that Alexis, my other artistic, uh, like probably closest collaborator, although I will call him more of a Yoda. You are more of a uh, sister, a wife, a conspirator. I don't know what the right word is, but like he's definitely like a Yoda. He's like the person I go
Yeah.
to for advice, and then he confuses the hell out of me, and I have no idea what he makes me mad, and I get so annoyed, and then I go home and I stew, and I think about it, and then I'm like, oh man, this guy is right. Um, almost always, or I know why he's wrong, and it also leads me to another place. So one night we met to just like bounce ideas off of each other at Honky Tonk. This is like 2 years ago, and this guy was playing piano, and he was just kind of singing cover songs of pop songs from like the 60s and 70s. So lots of Beatles, lots of Elton John, just kind of playing, singing. It was very charming. It was lots of love songs. There was a couple dancing. It was like, close to Valentine's Day. I think we were both single at the time, just like a funny kind of vibe of just this like romantic, ethereal moment.
Right.
And Alexis, said to me, he was like, dude, wait, you've never written a love song ever. And I was like, that's not true. And then I thought about it. I was like, okay, a lot of the songs that we perform as Baby Money, they almost feel like love songs because we structure them that way. But they are all these like anti-capitalist, very subversive kind of FU songs. Really, most of the whole attitude is this kind of like, winky face, eye roll. It's like a walking eye roll is the
Yeah.
Baby Money vibe, which I'm into. I think it's the right thing for what we're trying to say, which is money is fake, time makes no sense, let's have fun, right? It's like not supposed to be serious. It's supposed to be something that's like just gets you thinking, gets you moving, and like gets into your system. This guy playing pop songs simply on a piano, just like acoustic singing, just with his voice, was so moving. And thinking about like, what would I say if I was to write a love song? Like, I'm such a romantic person. I love poetry. I love film. I'm like, I've cried to every Godard film and I'm French, baby. Like I got those romance vibes, but I've never tried to put that into any kind of creative work. So I was like, okay, what is a love song? So then I did the thing where I get all analytical and I started thinking like, okay, how do you write a pop song? And I was like watching YouTube videos and doing this and doing that, and like I started kind of clarifying like, okay, so there are crush songs, there are breakup songs, makeup songs, sexy songs, like, is he gonna kiss me? Am I into this guy? Like, that's a one that people are always like, I don't know, I see her every day, but I don't know. She gets in my head, but that umbrella, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
so like I was like, okay, so I kind of like gridded it out as these like type kind of archetypal things, and I just started kind of playing around, and I made it very intentionally like during off times. Like I would take my laptop to the laundromat and I would like tap musical typing the songs and write them out, and like that's how the whole process started. And like once, and like we talked about it during that time, I was like, I don't know what this is going to be. And once I had maybe 10 or 12 demos kind of done, I approached Brad from Barbara Bush. He
Right,
runs
Brad.
Gunhead Studios. He produced our, or he recorded and produced our like second to last record with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, he's done all this stuff with Barbara Bush and everybody else. And I really respect Brad. I think he is phenomenal. And it was just one of those things where like, you had just had Caleb, if I remember this correctly. It was like literally maybe 3 weeks after you had Caleb that Brad and I started like kind of really meeting up and like just starting little recording sessions, you know, an hour here, an hour there, once a week. And we would meet at like 9 at night. Like I was working full time, so and so was he. So we'd squeak in these like 2 hour sessions, or sometimes we'd like I'd like stay till like 2 or 3 in the morning and like really like push it. But you know, we would just goof off on his synthesizers and keyboards and drum machines. And he really pushed me to perform, you know, a lot of the instrumentation, but then he would go back and layer tons more of his own, or just let the machines do all this work. It was amazing. It was a really cool process. It was very slow. It was very open-ended. There was a lot that changed. The, you know, I really wanted it to be a upbeat, like dancey thing, and he really wanted to like kind of question each song. Each song we would try at different levels, at different he would change the key by like huge amounts. He would even record me in one key and modulate my voice up and down. Like it was actually really, I don't know, it was kind of freeing. It like kind of cracked my brain open. It was hard. I think it was one of the harder, like in terms of like just personally challenging. Like, you know, it was a push. It was like learning how to run a marathon almost. Like, and at the end of it, you know, we had all these tracks. So that was like this time last year.
Right.
And I was like, cool, Sarah, we're going to do this show. Like, I want to do this. I want to do this. I have this idea. We're going to go in the gallery. I'm going to build a huge stage. We're going to invite all of our friends. We'll do this one time only gigantic show. Like, are you in? And I was asking all sorts of people to participate. And I really wanted it to be this, you know, I had the brewery kind of on the books, and I also had a gallery kind of like just in case. And Brad had even discussed his space. I mean, we had all these ideas, and then COVID happened.
Right.
And so I took all that information that we had, which was music only, and, you know, us talking and just like going through it as people. I was like, oh, okay, so we're not going to be able to perform for a while. What can we do? And then, you know, I started with like a video. Okay.
Right.
Here's one. Okay, here's two. And then the whole thing kind of went from there. And, you know, as I guess, yeah, I ended up making 7 music videos, one for each song, and then tapping a bunch of other collaborators, including you, to help direct and film the piece, to help with set design for different people. You know, everyone was filming remotely. Hobart got involved, and
Hobart is great.
He had like a whole team, a separate team, a different videographer. He had his partner was the set designer and did an amazing job. And yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah.
And then I had 2 dancers, one in Minneapolis, one here, who were filming themselves, like doing choreographing me remotely.
Yeah.
So it was cool. It was a really neat way to just kind of like all connect. And yeah, and the end result is this like visual album. I was like, hey, if Beyonce can do it,
surely I can figure out something.
I mean, she is a great role model, really. Mine is very low budget. It is not,
Right.
It is no lemonade, but it is like Kool-Aid, kind of like a lemon flavored Kool-Aid.
I'll squeeze a little spritz of water now. No, I mean, I think it stands on its own. I don't think there's any need for comparison. I think that one of the things that I thought was so fun as someone who knows your music and knows your voice so well is just hearing you sing in parts, like you sang in, I feel like you sang in your chest a lot more, and you're just singing keys that you wouldn't normally go to for Baby Money, and that was really fun.
I Brad is like the reason. Like without him pushing me like that, I kept actually pushing up, thinking that
Mhm.
like as I was listening to all these like pop divas, like, oh, the higher Mariah, Taylor Swift, everybody goes up, up, up.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, but your voice though, I don't think you should go that direction. So it was cool to just be pushed to kind of play with my range. And he also like really challenged me with like, why do you sing with that sound in your voice? Like, you don't live in Drury, Colorado anymore. Like, why are you singing like a little country bumpkin kind of a thing? He was right. It was cool. I mean, it was really challenging. It was really cool for him to like push me that way. And I think the result was really good. I
Yeah,
think.
I think that's one of the advantages of collaboration, and I think that when you have somebody that can really pull that stuff out of you and is questioning it, whether that's someone that can honestly question your writing, they can
Yep.
question your
You.
art choices, anything. I think it's valuable in all aspects of life. I mean, you've got to have someone that's willing to call you out and just kind of hold up that mirror. Someone you trust,
It's true.
whose opinion you value,
That's true.
hold up that mirror. And because let's face it, there's a lot of people that are going to try to hold up a mirror that haven't looked in one in a long time.
That's a good.
That's our Sarahnism for tonight.
I like that. You should put that in the quote float.
Yeah. Quote float. What's your next piece of merch that you've got hidden over there?
Well, next up, we've got the old. Do you still want to talk about holiday magique? Because I have a special surprise.
Then yeah, that's kind of what we're talking about. Let's do it.
Don't know if you know, but Midwest Action, the amazing label that helped Baby Money rise to its great fame, has produced this tape.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, girl. And I also have that $5 store ring light reflecting on that. So you can really,
yeah. That's
really
how I.
up. And the coolest part, Dan Jarvis and Alyssa Welch, who run Midwest Action, who've been so supportive to us and so many others in the Midwest and in Chicago specifically. Yes. I literally was like, hey, I'm making a thing. Hey, help if you want to, but also like you don't have to help because like it's COVID. Everybody's losing their mind. I don't want to make anybody do anything right now. Like I don't want to ask anybody. All I want to say is, are you okay? Do you need a hug? You know what I mean? Like, so I just kind of wanted to keep them in the loop, of what I was up to because they were part of, they've been a part of all of it.
Right.
And I really wanted to make sure that they felt included, but I didn't want to put any pressure on them to like,
Sure.
do anything. So anyway, Dan was like, oh, let me just see what I have. They happen to have these like gold foil tapes. And he was like, they're just gold foil or whatever. Then he like stamped them and he like laid out all of the thing. And my friend Erica took the picture. She's amazing. Her name's Erica Contreras. She also goes by Ms. Evstap. She's a graffiti artist and photographer.
Oh,
and
nice.
like that was so I already had all that. And then you and I during the video, one of the scenes was like putting up this gigantic like wheat paste mural that was just like part of the story of Sprinkles Valentine, this like candy heart being this graffiti artist. So we had that as art, and then Alyssa was able to like stitch it together. So this is the back of the tape.
Oh, that's
like
awesome.
Yeah. And then
I
happen to be an unemployed artist who has too many stickers in my life. So I made a whole bunch of different like custom art tapes. So they're all painted and they have like different collage. There's like 3 or 4 that are X-rated. Is it okay if I show an X-rated thing?
Yeah, I can mark us explicit. I mean, how about I say and then we're fair.
So like that's the back of like this one, for example. My great grandma used to draw butts with like pen and ink. So like I was kind of trying to like like give her, but I also have non-explicit. So like this is a patriotic one.
Oh, nice.
Called Make an Offer. Yeah, don't worry. It has this
capitalist.
Very cool eagle on it. And also, there's plenty of room for you to make it your own. Just like a normal capitalist message. But yeah, so Holiday Magic tapes now available on the Midwest Action site for $10. And they come with art and stickers and like whatever they,
Nice.
please,
Nice.
please, please to have if you want. They come with a digital download, so that's good.
There you go. Plug it, plug it, plug it.
My
But
God.
yeah, I think those look great. I'm so super happy with the way those came out. So I think that's one of the things that you do that's kind of fun is you're just such a talent when it comes to just taking art that's around you. I was thinking about this today, and I don't want this word to come off poorly because I know that I feel like you would understand that I mean this as a very complimentary way, but you're just such a scrappy artist.
Yes,
You're just
I like it.
yeah, like it doesn't matter what's going on. You can just make art out of anything. And like you're not afraid to just do things.
Thank you.
Like this little gem right above me here.
Oh my God. Oh,
Tell
you
us
mean this?
Bad Boy Billy Corgi. Oh, I'm going to tell a little story about Bad Boy Billy Corgi. So, back a couple of years ago now, probably about 2 years ago,
Yeah,
I was working at the Chicago Music Exchange. Were you at Kehoe then? Where
I
were you?
was. Yeah. No, I
Okay.
had just started it, and I was not making friends very well. I was very intimidated, and I was like so, a scrappy. I'm a scrappy person. So
Yeah. Well, they must have. You started sending me these just out of nowhere in the middle of the day. I get this. I wish I had a copy of him, but I got this picture of Billy Corgi, the very first one, and I just lost it. And I thought it was the best thing in the world.
Billy Corgi, for those of you who have not yet met him, is a dog, a human dog that has the head of Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins, and the body of a corgi.
Yeah.
And
At
he is a
that,
comic book hero.
let's see if we can we add him? I don't let me see if we can do this.
I
Bad
don't know. Maybe.
boy. I don't
Kind
know.
of salty. I don't know.
Here, y'all. Put
I
that.
don't know how that works
Okay.
with my well, anyway. There you go.
I just want to say Finger Doom just joined, and that is maybe my new favorite Scream name ever.
That's my friend Lisa, and she's legit the best. Hi Lisa. Meet Sarah. It's true. You have the coolest screen name ever.
Yeah.
It's true.
I get distracted easily. So there we go. Where were we?
Here. You're talking about this creature.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So my favorite thing that happened during this is I was obviously just, if anyone knows me, if I'm laughing about something, I of course want to share. So of course I want to share with the people that I work with.
Yeah.
And one of my buddies, Tyler, that worked for me, was so disturbed by Billy, he would get upset. But I always thought he was joking, but he really just did not like Billy. Which me, never having had a little brother, immediately turned me into the jerk big sister. And every time I got a new bad boy Billy Corgi for Pamela, the first thing I did was send it through our intercompany messaging system right into his inbox. And so I just was talking to him today. He surprised me and sent me a good meme out of nowhere today.
That's
So Tyler got some bad boy Billy Corgi in his text messages today, and he gave me exactly the reaction I was hoping for. It was wonderful.
I mean, it was literally like one of those things where I was like riding my bike and I got to work and I texted you where I was like, wouldn't it be funny if Billy Corgan was a corgi? Because then he would be Billy Corgi. And then he just like laughed. And then I was just like, I just like kept thinking about it. And I was like, okay, so Billy Corgi is actually really funny. And I was like, I wonder what he would look like. Like maybe it would just be a corgi that like kind of looks rock and roll. Like maybe he has like a rock and roll t-shirt or like he is, in the clothing of Billy Corgan. And then I was like, I don't know. And so I like literally Googled Billy Corgi and there was one really shitty excuse my language, Photoshop, kind of blurry, filtered, like floating head of Billy Corgan, kind of slightly near a body of a corgi. Like it didn't look good at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can do this much better. So then I was like, doodling at lunch. And I was, this is my attempt to make friends is doodling a mutant dog man. Um, but yeah, I started sending them to you. And then when your coworker hated them so much, that actually motivated the big
Yeah.
sister me to help you bully him.
Yes.
With,
Bully the guy that is mad
because
at
like who can hate this little dog guy? Like, come on, it's not.
I hates him.
It is. It's okay. I will say I sometimes creep myself out when I'm drawing them. Like they're not like there's a because I'll be completely square. Like I draw from photo references, so I'll like have a corgi, and I'll have a picture of Billy Corgan, and I'll be like looking at Billy Corgan's face and like really trying to get his like persona, and then I'll like look at the corgi body and like my brain will crack. You know what I mean? Like it makes no sense. It is not aesthetically pleasing to look at Billy Corgan's actual person and then an actual corgi. Like corgis are the cutest. It's like looking at cotton candy and a lock. You know what I mean? Like it makes no sense. Like this guy, yeah, like a padlock is this guy. Not even. I love you,
Yeah.
Lisa. I also like him better than Billy Corgi. Corgan. Billy Corgi over Billy Corgan. Also, the weirdest part about it that actually happened is as I started drawing, just doodling them, everybody has a Billy Corgan story in Chicago. Like everybody. There is not one person that I have interacted with who is like, oh yeah, Billy Corgan, that super cool rock star. Like no, nobody. Like everybody has been like, oh Billy Corgan, I have a crazy story about him. Oh Billy Corgan, here's an insane article about him. Like he's a real character, and his obsessions are wrestling and tea and like veganism, but then he's like not a vegan, then he's like kind of a libertarian. I mean, he's just kind of a really strange man. And so like it's a very easy transition to take this completely insane man and turn him into a unappealing looking dog.
Right to be made into a zine.
Huh?
He was right to just be made into a cartoon zine.
Oh my God. I literally could never make music again and just draw issues of Billy Corgi and like just laugh and giggle to myself for the rest of my life. It is so funny and fun to like research him. I mean, the truth is like I think he's trying actually really hard, and that's one of the reasons that he is such a character.
Yeah.
He's
Heart is the way bless his heart is the way we would say it.
Truly, really and truly, bless his heart. He is trying just so hard. And like yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting who he is to me.
Yeah. I think it's interesting the way that having seen the way you've shifted during quarantine into just really taking on your artistic side and really digging into this and doing these projects that you hadn't expanded. That's one of the things that Holiday Magic is so cool about, is that it's really kind of the first time publicly in this manner that you're presenting yourself as a visual artist. And I think that it's been good for me in the same way. I really dug into writing a lot.
Yeah.
Been a lot more guitar. Finally decided to do this. And I think that there's kind of those two ways you go when you're in isolation. You're either going to go into the dark place.
Yeah.
And I know we've both been there.
Yeah.
Because we usually try to help talk each other out.
Yeah.
And I think that we don't always give ourselves a lot of grace knowing that we've got to do that. But then the kind of the flip side of that is finding when you're in that dark place, just kind of digging yourself back out. And I think that that's something that you've done really well over the course of this last, guys, it's almost, how many months is it? 9, 10 months now in quarantine?
11.
Oh, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's next month.
Yeah.
But so kudos on that. How'd you kind of dig yourself out of that and just say, you know what, it's fine that I've gotten furloughed. Let's just keep moving forward.
I mean, I know we've spoken about this as friends, you know, in the like, especially in the dark times. Um, and I'm so thankful for you as a career partner and friend. And I'm just really glad you're doing this because I think you're a voice for our community and like a good representative for all of us and like a good example for all of us, honestly.
Thanks.
No, I mean it. Like you have done the thing where you're like, I'm going to be a rock drummer in two bands all the time, and also I'm gonna have two kids and like move to the suburbs and be all cute and whatever. It's very admirable. I'm very
Right, right.
I'll look up to you. Like it's very cool. I think how I pulled it out actually quite a lot of how I pulled out of those dark places is through friends,
Right.
friendship, and creativity. I would say are the two things that have kept me afloat during this time because I live alone. I don't have outside space. I've had to move. I don't have pets. I don't have kids. I did get furloughed. I've been a professional designer for years and years, and I've worked in retail and events and museums, and all of that stuff is closed down or at minimal capacity at this point. And it's hard. It's really tough, and it's really easy to get into those dark trains of thought. And I think, partly motivated just by like wanting to keep my skills sharp in a way, I know that this sounds really goofy, but part of how I think about this time is like training. Like
Right.
if I'm going to be the Chuck Norris of making art, like I can't just like lounge today, like it's
Right.
I have to like try to do something. And also I think the other end of that through this is like, you know, I I think you've helped me a lot with this, and like I've met and made an amazing like boyfriend through all of this who has helped me learn this. I found a therapist in all of this who's helped me learn this. That like stillness, thank you, stillness. Therapy also helps. Stillness and like taking your time with things is actually really important. And
Right.
if you don't recognize, I mean, we've talked about this all the time that like if you are really a creative person, you're always working because you never know when that moment of inspiration is going to hit you.
Right.
You could be in the grocery store line and see somebody in an outfit that just like surprises you or lights up something in your mind. You could taste something that you've never tasted before and think, oh my God, whoa. Or you could have a memory, you could connect with somebody over Zoom. I know for me, I've reconnected with a lot of people and deepened connections with a lot of people I hadn't either just because of time or adult living where we all are so busy, it's hard sometimes to keep up with personal connections. And I hadn't used the technology we had
Right.
to go face to face like this with a lot of people, even people who have been living far away from me for years. The conversations were very, intermittent. It would be a flurry of texts or emails here or there, a long call a couple times a year, and that's changed a lot. And I think being forced to slow down and being forced to kind of connect and being forced to like being put on that edge of like that we're on the cutting room floor right now. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like what's about to happen, we don't know. We actually don't know. We don't know how successful or how clear or how everything around us is going to be. It's just a kind of a crapshoot, and so there's this kind of blind trust and faith. There's this imagination and tenacity that I think like comes with the territory of kind of you know putting your toe out into that like post hot lava spill. Like you just it doesn't some people for some and for a lot of people right now like the world is so upside down that's not even possible, and like
And that's okay.
that is okay. And
That
for me, coping and like getting through this time, I, you know, the busy, creating doing something that kind of forced me to connect with friends was actually really helpful and beneficial because I think otherwise I would have just been completely isolated, and I think just giving myself something to do so that I didn't crawl up the walls was really helpful to keep me kind of grounded. So,
energy.
and I think everybody is finding that thing.
Yeah.
For, you know, I don't know how to play video games, so this is what I did instead. You know what I mean? Like,
Some people you're
so
in as a corgi.
exactly. You know, sometimes you just have to put
Building yourself in your
your
bed.
head on a corgi body. I don't know. That's what I chose to do. Sometimes, you know, people are baking sourdough. That looks actually really awesome.
Right.
I am drawing ugly things and enjoying it.
Battling the pain through a corgi. Yeah, I think that one of the things that's helped me a lot is just I've been on kind of a spiritual journey since around 2007 or so.
Yeah.
And I always can see, if I look back, the patterns and waves to it. And the times that I'm like consistently journaling, consistently meditating, that just makes such a big difference. And I think that getting a little older and just noticing your patterns is so important.
Yep.
Like noticing that when I'm having a hard time, I can look back over the last few days and say, oh, I slept late. We were up late watching TV. January particularly was a pretty nutty time.
Yeah.
At least here in the States. And so that was one of those times where I just had to make sure that I was going to bed, you know, setting hard limits for myself on on social media, and just meditating and just taking that time and just being quiet and not being okay with, while I was meditating, if my thoughts just started going.
Yeah.
Knowing that that's obviously kind of what my mind needed to do in that moment, and being okay with that. I think that what quarantine's kind of teaching everyone, hopefully, is kind of, it's okay. It's fine. There's so much stuff that's what this podcast I want it to be about is, look, we're all human.
Yeah.
We're all going to mess up. We're all going to have bad times. When you mess up, do better.
Yep.
Be accountable. And just make sure that you're doing those things, and just give yourself a break every now and again. It's fine. It's fine if you don't have your makeup. I put on, speaking of makeup, and the ways I don't connect with it often.
I love you. That was a good word. That was a kind way to phrase that, to makeup.
Yeah.
That really saved makeup's feelings.
Because sometimes I do like to wear makeup and I like to get dolled up. You've seen my wedding pictures. I had a freaking tiara on, for God's sake.
I know.
I was a sparkly princess all done up. It was amazing.
You looked amazing.
But so I forgot to turn my phone on Do Not Disturb, and everybody's like sending me these messages right now about my mom. It's weird. It's very distracting. But anyway, so makeup.
I love you. Take your time. Take your time, girl. Take your time.
I decided tonight, Tyler's like, oh, you know, maybe just put on a little on the lips. So, you know me, mine is just tinted lip balm that I stole from my wife. Because I don't buy lipstick, because that's not how my brain works. So I had put on my tinted lip balm. I'm like downstairs. I'm listening to some Billie Eilish. And I'm just like looking at myself in the camera, and I was like, oh, this lip color just doesn't look right. Wipe it on my nuts. That's what was happening immediately before we got on here. I was feverishly wiping off.
Hi, Silas.
Oh, hi, happy birthday, Silas.
Happy birthday, Silas.
It's Silas Mischler's birthday. He is actually going to be our guest next week.
Hell yeah.
I'm super excited about that. Speaking of not talking to people, like using technology, Silas moved back to Indiana.
Which is so interesting.
Yeah.
Break. Here we go.
And I just, for whatever reason, we have yet to FaceTime. We text nearly every day.
So funny.
But God forbid we just take that moment and like push a button and look at each other's faces. It's
Can
so
I tell you, I have certain people though that like I'm actually not a big like even with pandemic, FaceTime is still like a little like "Ugh," for me. Like it just gives me a little bit of like anxiety or whatever.
yeah.
You know, and if I had a corn powered phone that was made of corn that just could like be popcorn, I'd probably be more happy. No, I don't know. Like I would rather just like talk into a tin can that you were on the other end of, and it was just like our private little secret, you know, line. And it is very exposing, I think, to be on FaceTime all the time and stuff. But at the same point, or at the same time, I feel that you were kind of speaking to this before, like right now, a silver lining is this acceptance of one another, this compassion for one another, and patience with one another. And also, like, this exposure of, like, I don't know, like, you have to kind of, you can't really look. There are some things about it that I do not like because I think that it's hard for a lot of people, and being open and being exposed like this can be really challenging, but it's also an opportunity for growth. And it's been really neat to like see your face this way and like, you know, I don't know, it's really interesting. But yeah, you should for sure FaceTime with that guy. That would be fun.
Yeah. That's why I just decided it's kind of funny. I'm such a talker and I'm such a people person and also even an extrovert.
Yeah.
But the thought of being on Instagram Live was
I know.
the most terrifying to me. And when I was like taking all these business classes
Yeah.
at the beginning of last year, as I was kind of getting these ideas, I was like, I'm just going to be a writer. I'm not going to do music. I'm going to shift my whole personality. That was dumb.
No, I
What
mean,
I was thinking, but
dumb.
sometimes you need to shake things up, you know.
Oh, I did.
So, as I'm taking all these classes, one of the big things they tell, oh, go live on Instagram. That's your challenge for the day. Everybody go live on Instagram. Go live on Facebook. I'm like, no, you're not my dad. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. And so it's kind of funny to me that as this idea to like finally get it together,
Yep.
start doing this, it became, oh, well, let's just do it live in front of people. Why not just say weird random things, make jokes that won't be making any sense out of context? You're not reading the comments. Yeah, I can edit in Pro Tools. That's why I have Pro Tools. I'm a editor. I'm
Exactly. I feel like the truth is like you're just such a fun person to talk to. So like it doesn't matter what we're talking about. Like I would talk to you about literally anything. I would just like shut up and listen to you talk about literally anything. And I don't know, I just think the whole thesis is like here we are being human beings.
yeah,
And we're experiencing this period of time that we're experiencing.
sure.
And we have the gift of this technology. I mean, bada bing.
Boom, boom,
Like
boom.
you had a really good idea. And I'm really like, this is really fun. I'm really enjoying this. Thank you for inviting me.
At least we're having fun. I don't know how fun it'll be for everyone else to listen to, but I mean, don't we just make art really for ourselves? When you're making good art, it should just be for you anyway.
I
And
feel I feel like it's like a two-part thing actually. When you're making, I feel like when you're like, or this is for me. I don't mean to like refute because it's true.
no,
Making when you're making good art, it shouldn't like I remember a professor gave me the best advice that there is no bad audience because if the audience isn't engaged with you, you are not entertaining them. Like you are not doing your job because you are the ones there to entertain them. They did their job by showing up, right? Yeah. So in the same way, when you're making any kind of art, it shouldn't be necessarily for the viewer. It should be because this is the thing you want to make, and it should be, you know, in service to this to whatever bigger thing you want to say, and also just kind of in service to your muses, like what gets you feeling good, like what makes you feel good to do or play or sing or paint or say or write, you know, and then like. I think there's like the inverse of it too, where it's like it should have nothing to do with you. It's because I think you are very spiritual about the way you make art, and I know I am, where it's like sometimes it just like it almost feels like it's coming through you.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
like you're just there to like receive whatever, signals are out there in the world, whatever creative inspiration, muses, energy, like people, everyone has their own word for it. But you are just there to express what you observe, right? Because of whatever inspiration you have. And in that way, it has nothing to do with you, right? So
Yeah.
isn't that interesting?
I don't think your point is necessarily a refute. Like, I feel like the way, even as you were kind of developing that thought, I think it really is all intrinsically tied, because so much of it for me is ego versus self.
Yeah.
If you're making it for
Yeah.
your ego, then that's when you're not going to connect with your audience. That's when people aren't going to be interested, because you're just trying to show up.
Yep.
And there's so much of that. And sometimes it works. I mean, there are definitely people that do that.
Yep. Yep.
And then the egos meet, and it's going to go one way or another. But I feel like for me personally,
Yeah.
especially as I've gotten deeper and deeper back into my spiritual nature, as I've grown and matured as a 40-year-old mother of
I
two.
cannot believe that you were a 40-year-old mother, by the way. But continue as these things have evolved in your life.
I'm still selfish enough that I didn't give up my body. So thank you, Tanya, for
Bless you, Tanya.
I made sure to get that in on the first episode. Thank you, Tanya, for sacrificing your body for our beautiful babies.
We love you, Tanya. Literally, I love Tanya. She's the best.
Me too.
Good job. You
So,
can marry her. Get out there.
I see.
That's so funny.
For anyone listening, my wife just commented, "Damn straight."
Because she knows what's up, girl. Because you know what's up.
As I was saying, as I connect more and getting more deeply in from a spiritual side, I feel like it's changed the way that I write. It's changed both musically and also writing. I started the blog sometime last year, which I've been a little inconsistent with, but that's okay. I'm not. It's okay, right? Isn't that that we're going here?
Radical acceptance. It's
okay.
Compassion.
Yeah, compassion for yourself. It's very important.
Yeah.
And as I've gotten more and more entrenched in that, the feeling of creating is just so different. And I think that's why it's allowed just the free flow of ideas in such a different way.
Yeah.
Because if you can tamp down that ego and keep it quiet, because then ego is all of that fearful thoughts. I saw this really great can't think of the word. Oh God, it's what's the word?
What is it? A picture with words on it? Meme.
No, where it's like, if I'm messing it all up, I'm just gonna say it. So
sorry.
I don't know why I can't think of the word. Sorry, interweb. But not acronym. Acronym is the word. There we go. Not journal. Thank you, Silas. Good try.
That was a good guess.
That was a good guess, considering I was saying literally nothing but nonsense.
But better. Oh, Corky.
Corky.
Lisa.
Thank you, finger.
Yes,
but
it is Corky.
I saw this amazing acronym for the word fear the other day that changed my life. False evidence appearing real.
Oh.
And fear, false evidence appearing real. I have not forgotten that since I heard it. I have used it in conversations.
Yep.
But as I'm trying to help talk through something with Tanya, and I think it's just so perfect to explain the way that fear and ego really work in our lives, in our art. And that is what I think having those deep conversations with yourself, with that getting quiet, with all of that really ends up changing, is when you, and having those people that you trust, that you have those conversations with, I always love the Brene Brown thing about you get a 1 inch by 1 inch square of paper and write down all the names of the people who you can truly trust with your heart. And if you think you need a larger sheet of paper, you are kidding yourself.
Wow.
I love that so much, but
Yeah.
the people that we all have one or two, that's all you really kind of need deep down. And sometimes that person is you, and you write it in your journal. Like I did that, Silas. But
You write it in your webinar.
you write it in your webinar.
You write it on your corgi.
But knew it. We're just reading the top. But you've got to be able to get super duper honest so that you can catch when those things that are in your head where it's inspiration versus false evidence.
That's so interesting. No, I think that's really interesting because I think, honestly, I think I wouldn't, I think ironically, considering all of the things that pandemic has taught me, there we go, Silas, get that fresh corgi and that tattoo ink. No, I'm just kidding. I think of all the things that pandemic has taught me that I like keep kind of like I don't that keeps kind of surprising me over and over again is how it has taught me in some ways that you can just do anything, kind of, because
Right.
like there are no rules. Like it has kind of reinforced, and this is a personal belief. Like I worship at the altar of chaos. Like I think chaos is actually kind of amazing, and like nature and energy and inspiration and evolution. It's also unpredictable, right? And so is life in so many ways. And I think both of us, have gone through some interesting personal evolutions in the last few years and also just like throughout our lives witnessing I mean the world
Right.
unfolds, as our lives unfold, isn't it interesting to witness how much stranger truth is than fiction
Yeah.
consistently. That is the one thing that proves itself to be true
Oh yeah.
over and over again in my life. And so, through this period of time, I think that with it being so chaotic and upside down, it has in some way given me this like release or like freedom or forgiveness to just kind of like do whatever in a way.
Right.
I don't mean to say that like we haven't fully reached like warrior status. We're, not quite, but we're, which it could go that way. But I also think artistically, like maybe there's something really good that could come out of that. And
Oh,
maybe, the fact that the rules are kind of off the table, maybe that the fact that, I've always kind of like worked kind of in this way where I understand the rules very well and so therefore can kind of scoot around them and take advantage of the loopholes here and there that I see. And now that everything is a loophole, all bets are off. And I feel like that's the kind of opening for us to try to make change, to try to spread joy and happiness and creativity and inspiration, but also just like to try things, like maybe just something small that we never would have imagined, even just like walking every day and observing my neighborhood. And I
mm-hmm.
never have taken a daily walk. I cannot imagine taking a daily walk in any time in my life.
Yeah.
And that's part of my daily practice. It's like part of my art making practice to observe my neighbors, to walk in the snow, to see what people have sculpted out of it, to see what goofiness is happening in people's front porch displays, which have evolved over the period of this time. It's awesome.
Right.
It's awesome. There's like a gallery of kid art that has popped up around the corner. I don't know. There's some pretty cool stuff happening, and it's like as hard and bleak as it all feels, it's also inspiring. I think.
I think so.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see
Yeah.
how.
Neat seeing what everybody's doing too. That on social media, we talked about our friends baking bread, and
Yeah.
I discovered that I really enjoy cutting hair. I'm not necessarily the best at it, but man, is it gratifying to cut my kid's hair. And I cut
I
mine
got
with
a boyfriend haircut. I thought he did a
that
really good
frame,
job.
but
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, you get gratified today. I was like, oh, I need to get those ends. I
You look
started
good. It looks very healthy. Your hair looks very healthy.
baby oyster mushrooms,
Oh
doing
yeah.
a failed kind of second flush in my laundry room right now. So I'm a utility room mushroom farmer right now.
Why not, girl? Why not? I'm
Do it.
really into embroidering and quilting. Actually, I've been making like quilted panels for like clothing, so I'm pretty excited about that. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see what
that's all.
happens.
I'm interested.
I'm currently making my boyfriend like a quilted bathrobe, so of like the back panel of a bathrobe.
Ooh.
Very exciting.
Be sure to post pictures of that.
Oh yeah, that'll happen for sure. He
Well,
I also have given him a good 14 haircut, so I love that. That's such a great discovery, the haircut.
oh yeah. We were looking back through pictures at the beginning of quarantine because I would take Tristan in to kid sniffs. There's this lovely lady at the one in Arlington Heights named Charmy, and she rules. And yeah, we couldn't go. His hair was getting so long, it was starting to like get in his eyes, and he's rubbing his eyes on. I was like, no way, it can't be his hair, like that can't be why he's rubbing his eyes. Something must be wrong because paranoid parent brain. And so we have pictures where I like hair clip. I've got him in like he looks like little baby Willie Nelson country boy with a bandana on, which I could not be more in love with that photo.
That's so
I'll
cute.
see if I can find it. Maybe I'll post it in my stories.
But it's all because of his hair.
All because of his hair. So, and you couldn't get hair clippers because it was the beginning of quarantine.
Yep.
So everybody was needing them because we were about, I don't know, a month or two in.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it was tough. But we got it done, and now I know that I like to do something new.
That's so cool. I love that.
I'll cut your hair too, Silas Mishler. But your wife is way better at it than I am. You should just
Aw.
do that.
That's true. That's true. She's good. She's good at making stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I wanted to we went over a little bit on our time. I told Pamela it was gonna be half hour, 45 minutes. We'll probably edit it down for the actual episode.
I know. Oh, geez. Okay.
So we went a little over time. Thank you, everybody that stuck with us. And Pamela, I love you. I'm so proud of this. Oh, Javier just joined. What up, Javier?
Aww.
But I'm so proud of the project, Holiday Magic. Thanks for letting me come down and play that day during quarantine. And thank you for being such a cheerleader for me and being one of my favorite humans.
I'm really, really proud of you, Sarah. I think this was a really good step for you, and I think I believe in this, and I can't wait to see Silas next week. I hope he has a good haircut, because otherwise I'm tuning out.
You better get that trimmed. Snip,
No, I think this is great. I'm really excited. I think that so far you have all of my favorite people lined up, and I'm really pumped to be able to see them all. So I'm glad. I'm again honored to be your first guest, and I again can't wait to be like low-key famous to your fans in 20 years. But but I'm really excited to see where this goes, and I'm just so proud of you.
And plug one more time. Where can everybody find the magic on Saturday?
So go to the hideoutchicago.com. They have tickets there, and if you pay $5, the money is split between me and Hideout, which is very nice of them. And it will go to repay just supplies and stuff that happened, and hopefully, one of these days we'll get together in real life. But for now, it's hideoutchicago.com. It is a live stream event. You can sit in your pajamas. I will actually probably be going live on Instagram about an hour in advance, and you can just kind of come like visit with me, with the other people who worked on the video. It's we'll do kind of like a little happy hour kind of hangout, and then at 7:30 p.m. at Central Time on Saturday, the video will play, and then I'll probably be live for another like minute afterward, and then we can hang out. So please tune in, and the album will be available via tape and digital that night, through Midwest Action's Bandcamp, and their links and everything are in my link tree. So if you go to at BB Money in Instagram, you can. The very first link is the link to the Hideout tickets. Very second link is how to get straight to Midwest Action's site to buy the tape. Third link is if you don't want a tape and just want to be digital, and that's that. So thank you.
That is what is up. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I'm trying to pop a little bit of baby money forever. You can just all the things. I'm spelling it all wrong.
And why am like baby, a very small human, like money.
Tiny little baby money. All right, baby money. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you for doing this. I really appreciate you, and I'm just.
Oh my God, I appreciate you so much. Thanks for playing along with me.
Of course. I'll see you very soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.